Steel City. Is everybody ready to go? It's proclaimed the greatest radio show.
Welcome, fans, to our Week 10 Pick Show. I'm your host, Jim Sella, in studio with Jay Dash and Big Easy. We got 5 games we're going to pick against the spread. Dash is going to break down our records from last week, from the year. I finally, for the first time in 5 freaking weeks, I was over 500. So I'm sticking with the same method, Dash. I made my picks, and then I took the opposite. Boom.
All right, dude up.
That's brutal. Shit,
I seriously did, Easy.
Let me hear these stats. Let me hear these.
I made my picks, and then I picked the opposite
I remember
last
you
week.
telling me
and
that.
It was the first time I've been over 500 in 5 weeks.
I know, it means nothing.
What do you mean it means nothing?
believe.
I was
No
1
one
and
cares.
4 2 weeks in a row.
No, but who are these teams? Okay. Well, you have to take into effect the spread, too. Did these teams win outright? Did they cover? I mean, that's different.
This is all against the spread.
All right, well, hey now.
Well, Johnny Parlay, he went 4-1 last week.
2 weeks in a row now, right?
Yeah, 2 weeks in a row. He's actually 14-6 over his last 20 picks. 47, and Jim, you both went 3-2 last week. We heard about that 3 times already in the first minute of the show from you. And me and Easy both went 2-3 this past week.
2-3.
Yeah, 2-3. Now on the season, Johnny Parlay is leading the way at 26-18-1. I'm right behind him at 25-19-1. JK47 is 22-20-1. Both of you are under 500. Easy, you're 20-26-1. Jim, 17-27-1.
I just,
Brutal.
you know what? Maybe I should put more thought into my picks instead of just texting them while I'm driving down the road.
All time, Johnny Parlay, he's the first one to 60 wins. He's 60-56-4 now. I'm right behind him at 59-50-2.
That's why he's in the Bahamas right now. I can't even get a hold of him. Dude's on a roll.
But we're going to start off with my pick of the week this week because I am going with the Thursday game. Buffalo at the New York Jets, and the Jets are -2.5 in this game.
And who's your pick?
I am going with the New York Jets. Look, their defense, one of the best defenses in football. I know they had a little bit of trouble a couple weeks ago, but they've allowed more than 24 points to only New England and Oakland this year, 2 very good offenses. They're 3-1 at home this season, and all 3 wins are by more than 5 points. Fitzpatrick is going to play in this game, and the way that you beat Buffalo is through the air. And with Fitzpatrick, Marshall, and Decker out there, I mean, they've looked very good in the passing game. This is still one of the better teams in the AFC, in my opinion. You look at Buffalo, LaShawn McCoy's questionable in this game. I know Carlos Williams does look good as a replacement for him, so it may not be that big of a loss. But Buffalo, they haven't won back-to-back games this season. They just won last week, obviously. They went out and blew out Miami. We still don't know who Miami is. And Buffalo, they're 2-1 on the road this year, but they have had an easy schedule. Miami, Tennessee, and Jacksonville. So I think, yeah, it's going to be a close game. It's a division game. But like you said about New England a couple weeks ago, on Thursday, the better team usually comes out ahead. And in my opinion, the New York Jets are by far the better team.
I think the Jets are a better team, but I think as far as injury goes, they're trending downward and Buffalo's starting to trend upward. I know McCoy's a little banged up, but Tyrod Taylor's finally back. Sammy Watkins is back. Watkins had a big game with Taylor this week, 8 catches for a whole bunch of yards and a touchdown. Buffalo is 3-1 against the spread as an underdog this year. They're 2-0 against the spread on the road, and they're actually 15-10 as a road dog in the last 3 years. So I think I'm going to take Buffalo just from those stats and the fact that I think they're a little healthier than the Jets, although I do agree with you that the Jets are a much better football team. But Fitzpatrick's banged up. Geno's banged up, so at the quarterback position, that's a little unclear. I know Fitzpatrick's going to play. Brandon Marshall's banged up. Antonio Cromartie's hurt. So I think those things are just going to work against the Jets this week. And Buffalo, maybe not wins, but at least covers. This line's probably going to change a little bit, too.
Look, Tyrod Taylor, he has looked good so far this season when he's healthy, but he hasn't played a defense anywhere near the New York Jets so far this season. So this is going to be his toughest matchup, especially on the road. Like I said, Miami, Tennessee, and Jacksonville is all they faced on the road this season. And that was a Miami team that was terrible at that point.
I think this line will probably get to 4 or 5 by the end of the week.
Easy, what are you saying?
Well, I think I seen something that said that Rex Ryan made the guy who broke Geno Smith's jaw captain for the game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
Pretty funny.
So get Jets.
Going with the New York Jets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
F you at Rex Ryan and
He wore a
Buffalo.
Clemson helmet in his press conference. Did you see that? Because
No.
his kid goes to Clemson, so he wore a helmet during the press conference.
Yeah, it looks stupid.
It was really stupid.
47's going to go with us easy and say the New York Jets. And Johnny Parlay, he's been winning recently. He is going with Buffalo along with Jim.
Buffing up.
He likes Tyrod, and he thinks McCoy's going to be healthy.
He likes those road dogs.
We're going to go
Who
with
doesn't?
JK47's game next. He's 5-4 in picks of the week this season and all time.
What'd he take? Denver, right?
He's going with the Kansas City game. Yep, at Denver, -6.
Over-under's 42, I believe.
Correct, good sir.
Believe it. I got to add something to this segment. Peyton Manning, he's only lost twice in Denver at home. Now, I know that's not against the spread, but, I picked against him when Green Bay was there, and he made me eat my words, I'll tell you that.
Not only that, Denver beat Kansas City by 7 points or more each of the last 7 times they faced off. Denver's 3-0 at home, with the most recent win by 19 points versus Green Bay. I know Green Bay's had a down couple of weeks, but one of those games was versus an undefeated Denver Broncos at the time. They're coming off their first loss of the season at Indianapolis. But look, at home, they've been a much better team, and 5 of their past 7 wins have been by 6 points or more. So there's the line right there. But Kansas City, they've been playing a lot better recently, too. They've allowed 17 points or less in each of their last 4 games. They've outscored their last 2 opponents, the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Detroit Lions, 68-26 over those 2 games. They did lose to Denver in week 2, and it was by 7 points, 31-24, but they're coming off a bye as well. But you look back in 2013, coming off a bye, they lost at Denver 27-17 as well. I think Denver just owns this matchup, so I'm going to have to go with Denver. I know they're coming off the loss. I think that's even more of a reason for them to come out and win this game big.
Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. But Peyton's garbage. Denver still.
Still going Denver. By the way, 47, he's going Denver as well. And Johnny Parlay are going Denver. Why are you saying KC?
Spread solo for me. I'm picking Kansas City. I gotta catch
hell
up.
no.
I gotta catch up in this win column somehow. And if I
No,
keep
that's-
Well,
picking
he
the
said
same
it.
thing
Yeah,
as
He said
everybody,
it, man.
then I
He
gotta go
takes the
against
team
it.
he thinks is going to win, and then he takes the opposite.
Right.
So there you go.
Well, okay.
I thought Denver was going to win, and I flipped it to Kansas City. Listen, I'm going to give you some stats that
And
tells
that-
you why
that-
I'm
that's
probably
it.
still wrong. Denver's 3-2 as a favorite against the spread. They're 2-1 against the spread at home. They're 2-1 against the spread when the line's between 3.5 and 9.5. Kansas City's 0-3 against the spread as an underdog. They're 1-3 against the spread in road games, and they're 1-2 in road games against the spread when the line's 3.5 to 7.5. So I'm almost definitely wrong, but I'm trying to catch up in this win column. So you got to go out on a limb. Last week I took Chicago. Everybody thought I was crazy for taking that game, and they actually won. This is a big line. I'm not saying Denver ain't going to win, but I could see them winning by a field goal.
Yeah.
Let's not forget Aqib Talib. He's suspended for this game.
DeMarcus
Obviously,
Ware's hurt.
That's going to make things a little bit easier on Jeremy Maclin and company out there. Travis Kelce is still a good target for Alex Smith. And
Duckster
Terkandrick
McCluster.
No, Duckster plays for Tennessee. but
I don't know. He's a chief
yeah,
in my
Jamal
heart.
Charles is out, but Charkandrick West has filled in pretty well for him so far.
This is a division matchup too, and I know you like some of the stats you gave. Denver has owned them in this matchup, and usually by big points. I just got one of those feelings it's going to be a close game.
Isn't that Kanye's brother?
You're dead wrong.
Look it up.
All right, let's move on here. Jim, we're going to go with your pick of the week next. You're 3-5-1 in picks of the week this season, and you're 13-14-1 all time.
I got to pick it up.
You're going with the Dallas at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is -1.5.
Ooh.
Over-under's 43.5 in this game. I'd probably go over if I was messing with that, but I'm not messing with that right now. I'm taking the Dallas Cowboys in this game. They're an underdog on the road. I know they're 0-6 without Tony Romo, but Des Bryant's finally healthy. The running game looks a little bit better with Darren McFadden. And who's the other dude they got running with him now?
Christian Michael.
Yeah, that guy. Joseph Randall, he's beat, he's out, then he got suspended. Get that trouble out of there. Matt Castle's a much better quarterback than Brandon Weeden. I know I was big on Brandon Weeden, and I thought he could do the job, but I was obviously wrong there. Castle's shown a little more consistency in the offense since he's taken over. I think him to Des Bryant is going to be a good connection. This will be the 3rd week that they're together now. second or third week that they've gotten to play together?
It'll be a third.
Yeah, so that connection's going to work. Tampa Bay is not that good of a team. I know Winston's playing well, and they may be a team up on the rise, but I don't even care that they're at home. I think Dallas wins this game probably by like 5-6 points.
We'll have to see if Vincent Jackson's healthy. Austin Seferian-Jenkins, if he's going to play. He hasn't played in a long time. So Winston really hasn't had the targets out there, and that's why he hasn't been throwing too many touchdowns over the past 4 weeks, but he's also not turning the ball over at all. But their defense isn't that great. They've allowed 30 or more points 4 times in the past 5 games. They just got blown out last week, 32-18 versus the New York Giants. They're only 1-3 at home, and their only win came to the Jacksonville Jaguars, who seem to lose to everyone, no matter how well their offense looks out there. But you're right, Dallas, they lost 6 straight games without Tony Romo. But let's look at those 6 games. You lost to Atlanta, who was undefeated at the time.
Garbage.
You lost to New Orleans.
Garbage.
They're not too bad. Their offense can put up points
They're
out
Drew
there.
Brees, and that's it.
The defense stinks, obviously. But they lost to New England. They lost to the New York Giants. They lost to Seattle. Well, the New York Giants are a first-place team.
Yeah, I know, but they're like...
It's a division game.
They're like the Dodgers. They're just in a garbage division.
How about the Seattle Seahawks? You think they're garbage, too? I mean, they have a good defense out there, and they lost to Philadelphia.
Where was that game? At home?
At Dallas, yeah. They lost by 1 point.
Okay, well...
I mean, that's
a tight game.
That's a tough stretch for, what, third-string quarterback, second and third-string quarterback.
They deserve
and
to
no
be
number
they
one
deserve
wide
to be
receiver,
0-6.
no number one running back.
And
yeah, it's tough. But
they're
look,
going to be 0-7.
Like you said, Darren McFadden has finally taken over the reins as the number 1 back out there. They finally found their running back, and he's been running great. Dez Bryant's back now. He finally had a big game last week. So they're starting to get their offense together. They're going to get Tony Romo back here in a few weeks. But their defense is playing a lot better, too. And Tampa Bay is not as good as any of these teams they played over the past 6 weeks. So I'm going to say Dallas, too.
If Dez Bryant can keep it going and keep playing well, that's going to open up things for the running game even more. It's going to open up things for Jason Witten underneath. It's just going to make their offense better. That deep ball, they didn't really have it. Whedon couldn't throw it. Castle can throw it, and now he's actually got a legit deep threat. So let's see. Let's see Dallas get this going. They get Tony Romo back next week. I still think they're going to win their division.
Did you see what Mike Evans did last week?
Was he smoking weed?
No, he dropped like 5 passes right in his hands.
Oh, I just
it was like a whole blooper reel of himself in 1 week.
Wasn't Dallas talking to Ray Rice?
I don't know, maybe.
Oh.
He's garbage.
Fans, remember, all this is recorded on Tuesday, November 10th. A lot of stuff can change between now and game time. Injuries, activations, signings. This line will probably change a little bit too. But even
it's
with
moving
Dallas as
towards
an underdog at all, I'm still taking them.
This game's moving towards Tampa Bay, so if anything, it's going to be Tampa Bay -3 by the time the game rolls around. It actually started at -1 towards Dallas, so it went the whole way the other way. So I might actually wait until the end of the week on this game because you might be able to get a better line with Dallas. But if you're going to go with easy and say Tampa Bay, I think now's the time to grab it.
It's like their Super Bowl. Jameis don't want to look like a fool.
Tampa Bay is 1-3 against the spread at home, and I know this is a small line, so it wouldn't mean much. But if it does climb up, then that means a lot more.
It being that small to begin with means that...
Well, Dallas has lost 6
garbage.
straight. I mean, you can't.
Garbage.
There's no way around it. Tampa Bay's not a good team either, though. Like I said, they're 1-3 at home, and they only beat Jacksonville.
I know, but this is like the Super Bowl to them. This is their season right now against America's team.
Jameis Winston, he's playing pretty well. Not great, not terrible.
Crab legs.
Jim, 47's going to go with us and say Dallas. So the majority's going Dallas. Johnny Parlay's going to go with Tampa Bay with you, Easy.
Sounds good. This is their Super Bowl. Tampa Bay. Jameis don't want to look like a fool.
All right, let's move on to your pick of the week here. You are 4-5 in picks of the week this season.
Beat
9-11-1 all time.
Garbage.
Going with the Minnesota at Oakland game. Oakland is -3 in this game.
Over-under's 44, fool.
It's very simple pick for me. I like the way I seen them play last week, Oakland.
They're beast.
Am I allowed to make 2 picks in this game?
No.
All right, well, here's my 2 picks. If Bridgewater plays, I'm going with Minnesota. But if Bridgewater doesn't play, I'm going with Oakland.
Well, you can't take this line Which one are you going to go now? Because you can't take this line with both of those situations.
Right now, I'm saying Oakland.
Okay, well, that's
Right
your
now is the
official
line.
decision.
Say it again.
Listen, I'm saying Bridgewater's not going to play because he's in concussion protocol, and until he clears that, then he can't play. And I know he passed stage 1, but there's a couple stages, and things can happen. You know, setbacks can come on Saturday or Sunday morning. So as far as concussions go, I'm going to say Bridgewater's out. Oakland's -3. I'm definitely taking Oakland.
When's the last time Oakland was a favorite?
They were probably a favorite
Yeah,
this
they've
year
had
at
to
some
be
point.
a favorite at some point this season, man.
Oh,
Well, Oakland, they're 2-2 at home. There are 2 losses versus Cincinnati and Denver, combined 15-1 between those 2 teams.
believe it.
Oakland scored 34 more points each of the past 3 weeks. They scored 69 points versus the Jets and Steelers combined over the past 2 weeks, and those are 2 very good defenses, so their offense looks great right now. The one question is, Latavius Murray, is he going to play in this game? Because we've seen him go out against Pittsburgh
They're
with
all
a
beat up.
concussion. Yeah, they
That's
got
the only
hurt
thing
bad.
that scares me. Yeah.
Yes, they
got beat up.
in that game. Yeah, they went into that
Hard.
game pretty healthy, but they are beat up now. Charles
Yeah.
Woodson, he was hurt all game long, so we'll have to see about him.
I'm glad you mentioned his name. Charles Woodson,
Stay up.
stellar, my man. I couldn't believe it. Just to be in the league all those years, and they had the camera on you the whole time. We're sitting here boozing, obviously. They had the camera on you the whole time, and you were just putting on braces, doing whatever, and still hitting people, and played that whole game, man. Charles Woodson.
He was
Beast mode.
leading the NFL
Beast.
in picks coming into the week, too.
And that's crazy too. Charles Woodson, you're awesome.
Yeah, so Oakland, their offense has been playing very well over the past several weeks. Their defense, a little bit of a letdown last week. They're usually good against the run. They weren't very good against Pittsburgh.
Well, I don't want him to be good against the run this week, even though I want him to win, because I got Peterson.
Really, how you beat the Oakland Raiders is by the
Outscored.
pass. So Bridgewater does have to play in this game if Minnesota wants to win this game. But you look, they're 6-1 in their last 7 games. Their only loss was at Denver by 3 points. They're 2-2 on the road this season. They're 2-1 against the AFC, and their only loss was that Denver game. Their defense allowed just 23 points or less in every game this season. So something's got to give here. Either Oakland isn't going to be scoring 30 points, or Minnesota's defense is going to come out and have a letdown game. But you look at who they played: San Francisco, Detroit, San Diego, Denver, Kansas City, Detroit again, Chicago, and St. Louis. So that's part of the reason why they haven't let up more than 23 points this season. I mean, don't get me wrong, they have a good defense, but Oakland, by far, to me, is the best offense they're going to face this season. I mean, San Diego has a good passing offense, but they're not a well-rounded offense. I think Oakland is a more well-rounded offense than San Diego, and this is Minnesota's toughest matchup, and it's coming on the road, so it's going to be tough for them. Like I said, they've scored 23 points or less in 4 of their last 5 games, and I really think they're going to have to put up some points in this game, because I think Oakland is going to go out there and put up close to 30 points at least.
Shocking to say this with Peyton Manning in the division, but I think Oakland has the best offense in the AFC West.
It's possible, yeah.
I mean, San Diego lacks
Not
the
with
running game.
if Keenan Allen would be healthy.
Yeah, but
San Diego.
overall, Oakland throws
Yeah.
the ball just almost as well as San Diego, and they definitely run the ball better. Peyton's been struggling in the passing game, and they struggled with the running game early in the season. And Kansas City, I mean, they're not terrible, but they're not great. Alex Smith is efficient. I
There's
mean,
some
that's all I give them.
viable weapons in that division on offense. All 4 of those teams.
Yeah.
I would say if San Diego was fully healthy, it would be close between those two, but with Keenan Allen out, it's a big difference. I said that San Diego can keep it going in the passing game without Keenan Allen, and I think they can. Whoever's out there playing is going to put up some decent points in terms of fantasy or whatever. They're going to score some points, but they're just not a good team. Malcolm Floyd just went down now, so that's another loss for him. Antonio Gates isn't healthy. They do have some good running backs, but they don't have a good running game because their line is nowhere close to Oakland.
Although it's
No.
the second half of the year, and we all know San Diego likes to make a run.
Yeah, but when you got
Yeah.
when
If they finished 9-7, I wouldn't be
You're dead
totally
wrong.
shocked.
you got 11 different line combinations and
Right.
whatever 8 games.
Block them. Who did Parlay and 47 take?
They both took Minnesota. The 3 of
Losers.
us going Oakland. Them 2 are going Minnesota.
I like what I've seen out of Oakland. I know they're beat up.
Well, listen, it's a
I'd love to
small
see- I
line,
wanna
and
see 'em
Minnesota
win.
hasn't
It's gonna be a
really
good
been
game.
losing any game, so
Hey,
it's
listen.
going to be a tough game for Oakland.
Good game.
I think they're going to be able to beat that defense that really hasn't been beat yet this season.
I see it as the worst case scenario is a push because Sebastian Janikowski can kick an 85-yard field goal for the 3-point victory, basically. So, I mean,
OG, triple
that's
OG,
like the worst thing that I can
coffin
see
corner
happening.
punts.
That dude crushes the football.
If this line changes drastically over the week, I think I'm going to maybe change my pick. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah, if it
could
got
mo-
above 5, I might think
Yeah,
maybe
we'll see what
Minnesota.
happens. But if this line, if you can put lines in right now, I'd go out and put Oakland at -3.
Believe it. What's the next game on the slate?
Last one, Johnny Parlay's game. He's 5-4 in picks of the week this season, 13-13-1 all time. Like I said, he's been killing
Mediocre.
it recent. He's been killing it this season though.
Overall, though.
Yeah, 14-6 over his last
When he
20
doesn't
picks.
show up for work, he does better.
He's 58-48-2 in regular season picks all time. That's the highest out of any of us. He's going with one of these big lines, and he's going with a Monday night game. Houston at Cincy, and the Bengals are -10 right now.
47.5 is the over-under. Since he's been putting up mad points, you're big on Bubby Hoyer down there and his fantasy numbers. Do you think any chance it gets over 47.5? Just not like an
Well,
official pick or anything. Just you think it could go over?
I really do. I think Houston's going to go out there and score some points in this game. I actually think Bubby Hoyer's going to go out there and have a good game in terms of fantasy. They're going to score some points. DeAndre Hopkins is going to have a good game. I like the receivers they got out there. I mean, nothing great. Nate Washington, Cecil Shorts may return. I know Arian Foster's done for the season, but they have Alfred Blue out there, and he's had a couple good games here and there. But Bubby Hoyer has been playing well, no matter if he's been playing a poor defense or a good defense. So I think they're going to go out there and score points. But Cincinnati, they've been playing great this season. They're definitely going to go out there and score points. So I'm saying definitely on the over.
You know, I think Houston's defense is getting a little bit better. They're getting a little healthier. I know McKinney's still banged up and Jadeveon Clowney's still banged up, but I think J.J. Watt was hurt and still playing at the beginning of the year, kind of one of those nobody really knew about it things. I think the defense for Houston is going to start getting better. I mean, it really couldn't get any worse than it was about 2 weeks ago anyway. Cincinnati, they had a little bit of a letdown on offense against Pittsburgh. That's a division game, so it's always tough. But then they went out and rolled Cleveland. That's a division game, but they're just garbage. But since he's got this long rest, I think they win this football game. I just don't think they win it by 10 points or more. I'm going to take Houston against the spread, although I do think the Bengals get to, 9-0? 10-0?
9-0.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, they're going to score points. They have 27 or more points 6 times this season. The defense has really stepped up over the past 2 weeks, though. Like we said going into that Pittsburgh game, Cincinnati's defense has been a little bit of a letdown this season. They hold Pittsburgh to 10 points? They hold Cleveland to 10 points. And they've allowed 24 points or less in every game this season. So their defense wasn't playing terrible, but now they're playing very well. But Houston, they're coming off a bye, so they had a long rest. They haven't won back-to-back games this season, so I really don't think they're going to win this game, obviously. Cincinnati's going to come out and win this game, and Houston hasn't been that good on the road this season. Just 1-3. They have losses of 7 to Carolina, 27 to Atlanta, and 18 to Miami. The only team they beat was the Jacksonville Jaguars. They come up again. They beat them 31-20. But I think they've been playing pretty well. They've been getting better, at least on both sides of the ball. Like I said, Brian Hoyer's been playing great. Their defense is getting better. If they get Cecil Shorts back on this offense, it's only going to make that passing game a little bit better. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game, and Houston's going to be able to keep it within this 10 points.
Yeah, that's a big spread. Since he's going to have a letdown game at home, maybe not lose, but they're going to have a game where they don't play great at some point in the season. There's no way that they're just going to roll every single team. And with the bye week and then another extra day being this on Monday night, I just think Houston's defense keeps it together and keeps it close.
Let me tell you one thing. Cincinnati's on a roll.
Please believe.
And I don't know. I thought you guys did a segment about Houston's defense being garbage.
It was.
What do you mean it was?
I mean, it's still not great.
It's not great, but they had a bye week, and I just told you they got healthy.
They're not healthy. Who's their quarterback? Bubby Hoyer. Brian Hoyer.
Brian Hoyer.
Capital G garbage.
Dude, he's been beast over the
He has
past
a
5 or
higher-
6
Yeah,
years.
we're not talking fantasy here. We're just talking winning football games.
Let him give you the stat.
I don't need stats. What's their record?
3-5.
Okay. on the road. You just said it earlier. 1-3 on the road. It's
Yes.
42-14 Cincinnati. This Vegas put this line up there to scare you. They're going to win by 20.
Brian
45
Hoyer
points.
has a higher total QBR than Ben Roethlisberger, Derek Carr, Matt Ryan, Phillip Rivers, and Russell Wilson. So he's not playing terrible football.
Okay. They're still going to get blown out by like 40 or 50 points.
Cincinnati.
What's 42-14? Add that up.
28.
They're going to lose by 4 touchdowns.
All right. I think Cincinnati's going to go out and put up points like you said. I just think Houston's going to go out there and put up points of their own.
I agree.
14.
14 of them.
Yep. Where's Arian?
What will it be? 4 field goals and a safety.
That's it. Your favorite fantasy running back of all time ain't even playing. Alfred Blue's garbage. And, who's the...
Well, they got Alfred Blue out there. They got Jonathan Grimes, and they got Chris Polk in the backfield. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but they never did have the running game this
You're
season.
saying this is
even
Monday
when
night?
Arian fought.
Was this a Monday night game, too?
Listen, J.J. Watt.
Brian Hoyer.
Me and Dash argued about this a little bit last year
Yeah,
after
5
the Steelers
interceptions.
played Houston. I felt like we contained Watt because he only had, I don't know, maybe 1 sack or whatever. Watt has the chance to take over a football game and change the outcome by himself. He's healthy now. He wasn't healthy at the beginning of the year. He's the best defensive player in football when he's healthy. He could easily keep Houston within 10 points. He's going to be jacked up for this game. I bet you, I'm going to go out on a limb and say J.J. Watt gets a touchdown.
Defensively or
Offensively. He's going to go in at tight end and he's going to score a touchdown.
J.J. Watt's going to eat pancakes and shit himself before the
Dude
game.
would crush you with one hand.
He ain't healthy. That whole team's garbage.
Okay.
Spread picks of the week.
Whose pick was this?
This was Johnny
John.
Parlay's pick.
And he took the Bengals?
He took Houston.
Yep.
He
Jeff?
took
He
Houston.
took Houston.
Yes, along with me and Jim.
JK47 and you are the only 2 people who took Cincy.
Spread majority on Houston. In fact, the spread majority and the spread picks of the week, the same again this week. It's the New York Jets, the Denver Broncos, the Dallas Cowboys, the Oakland Raiders, and your very own Houston Texans.
Believe it.
Bubby Hoyer.
You do a segment on how they're garbage. Now they're going to cover 10
We said they
points
could
again
get back
at
in the
Cincinnati.
playoff race. Did you listen to that segment?
I did not.
Well, go
Okay.
back and listen to
Yeah.
that segment. And then
Oh, so they're garbage, but they're going to
We
get
talked
back
about
into
them
the
being
AFC
beat
playoff
up
race.
and how that they could still win their division considering they were in first place at the time, tied with the Colts, who now lost their starting quarterback.
Right.
So
Well,
the
that's
Houston
where
Texans
Marcus,
just had a bye
Marcus
week.
will step up.
The best defensive player in football is healthy, man. I'm telling you. You
He's
watch.
doing
Watt is going to have a
Verizon
huge
commercials.
game.
He's got his mind on something. He's got his mind
Huge
on
game.
money. And
Huge
money is
game.
on his mind. He don't care about football no more.
You gotta be kidding
Watts
me.
went so corporate.
Fans, if you want to argue with us, hit us up on Twitter at bet_the_spread. Hit me up on Twitter at betjimthewin. Check out the Facebook page at facebook.com/betthespread. Keep coming back to YouTube and click and subscribe. If you fans want us to pick a game, let us know. If you want to throw any picks in, let us know what your picks are this week. Remember, it is Tuesday when we record this. A lot will change before the games actually start, lines, etc. So we'll try to keep you updated. Just keep looking down at the comments. Peace.